Welcome to another episode of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy.
We have the show that talks about computers,
Technology,
and the internet. Wow, it's all three of us again.
Yeah, I'm so happy to get my laminated tech card back. Thank you. In a special ceremony, Justin reissued my card to me, so thank you.
Yes.
For my not knowing the correct update pattern for Windows. I caught a lot of flack from some of our friends that are on Facebook.
How was solitary confinement, by the way?
It was rough. I couldn't touch tech.
Yeah.
It was like being Kevin Mitnick for a week after he got busted. That's how it was.
Yeah, great.
Oh boy. And there is a lot been going on. First, I got to tell you guys, you did a great job on the show by yourself.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, seriously.
It was all Shawn.
Well, it was funny because I forgot that we were doing that. I had to sit it out. And Gloria told me you texted her because I couldn't use a phone to say that, hey, tell Andy to sit it out this week. We're going to do it. And honestly, I listened, because I put it together and you guys really did a good job. So nice,
awesome.
Nice work. There's a lot that has been happening. So much to talk about. I mean, we've got everything from Windows 365, the Cooler Master Orb, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. And of course, for the gamers that are out there, the very confusing Steam, I'm going to call it the right thing, Steam Deck, which sounds so much like Gato Stream Deck.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's funny because I was at Best Buy the other day and I was looking at a product that maybe I could show on the tech segment for Fox. And I actually picked up the Elgato Stream Deck XL.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nice.
And I'm looking at it, I think, this would be kind of cool to talk about on Fox, talk about how you're streaming, you could utilize this. And, you guys know I use Wirecast, which has a lot of those features that you get with Stream Deck really built into it. Mm-hmm. And I'm reading the back of the box and it doesn't mention Wirecast. It mentions OBS Studio, YouTube, Facebook Live, whichever ones you're doing. For listeners who don't know, Elgato's been around a long time. We've talked about them in the past. We had a capture card for them that we really liked. Stream Deck is what you use, Justin. So I called Justin and I said, hey, tell me what you can about Stream Deck, because I'm thinking about getting it to show it for TV.
Well, it's basically just it's just an extension, really, to your keyboard. The Stream Deck is the one I got is, let's see, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 15 key Stream Deck.
I think that is the XL, isn't it?
No, the XL is 22 keys.
Is it more
23? Yeah, the XL is more. Yeah, so the 15 is the medium one. They have one that's like 6 keys for real small streamers, or just you don't really need a lot of stuff going on. But anyway, I got the medium one. It was actually a gift from all the people that had watched my trivia nights, my virtual trivia nights that I did for Brews Beers over the course of COVID. So for my 40th birthday, they all pitched in and got me a gift card. It was a $400 gift card.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was like amazing. So I bought a Stream Deck with that, and that allowed me to add more effects to it. But again, going back to what the Stream Deck is, it's just an extension. Remember back in the day when if you happen to need to use the 10 key system, like if you're an accountant or something like that, and you didn't have a keyboard that had the 10 key built in, you just have to get like an extra peripheral that would be like a PS2 or a USB cable that you'd plug in, and then you'd have an extra little peripheral next to your mouse that just allowed you to do 10 key. And it's basically what this is. It's just a hotkey system. It doesn't do anything by itself. Like,
that's what I was thinking. I thought, well, if somebody is doing a stream, this will allow you it creates the graphics for you and puts that overlay. So that's not the case.
No, it does not. It doesn't do any of that. It just simply fires off the macro or the command that you set it to. So if you want those graphics that you find in like video game streamers streams, you need to have something like OBS, open broadcasting software. It's free. That's why they call it open. You can download it, you can install it, and then you got to build your scenes. And basically what you then do is within the software for Stream Deck, there's a section for OBS because they do work very closely with OBS. So there's a section in there that says, okay, advanced scene or call graphic or whatever. But it's just a hotkey. You have to build it yourself. And then when you attach that direction to the button. You say, when I press this button, I want you to do this.
Right.
Then it fires off the scene in OBS or in YouTube or Facebook gaming or whatever. Then again, most Facebook gamers and YouTube streamers, they use OBS anyway.
Right.
But you can do the same thing with Wirecast. I mean, Wirecast, I'm sure, has certain hotkeys.
So you can create, you can create the scene and do an Alt W or whatever.
So instead of having to press Alt W, you just simply tell the Stream Deck, when I press this button, I want you to do Alt W.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so it's a one key system. So a lot of people use the Stream Deck for streaming. They use it to create content for their video game streams or whatever they're streaming, chatting or whatever. However, I've also realized now that I'm not doing video game streaming anymore or doing this virtual trivia nights, I've been able to repurpose the Stream Deck for video games. So for instance, I just recently got into Final Fantasy 14 online.
All right.
Shawn, are you into that?
I am not. I played Final Fantasy 14 when it first came out.
Yeah,
several years ago.
Very, very, very bad.
It was a good story, but the gameplay wasn't that great.
I'm kind of digressing here a little bit, but basically, the Square Enix, the people that make Final Fantasy, that online version was so bad they literally nuked the entire planet and all the characters, and then they took some time off and came back with Final Fantasy 14 Online, A Realm Reborn.
How nice of them.
Yeah. And now it's actually good. And then recently it's gotten a lot of traction. Again, I'm digressing here, but there was a couple of very, very famous streamers that normally play WoW, World of Warcraft. They decided to go and play Final Fantasy, and that created an influx of new players. They're like, wow, this game's amazing. I want to try it out. So all of a sudden, these, I don't know how many people played, a million people played. All of a sudden now you've got 5-6 million people playing all at once, and you have to wait to get into the servers and stuff. Anyway, the game is much better. But anyway, I digress. What I'm saying was I've repurposed my Stream Deck to use certain features within the game. So if I want to bring up my character sheet, I can just press one button. If I want to bring up an emote, where an emote would be if I want to wave at somebody, but I also want to say in chat, hey, how you doing? Or something like that. It's a macro. I just programmed it to do the macro, and I just hit one button and my character will wave and also say into chat, hi, how are you?
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
They're just, it's just a little macro keyboard, and you can do things with like, well, heck, I'm sure you can do it with like Excel or Word.
Right.
If you're using that a lot and you're using these Alt W or Alt F3 or whatever these weird key combinations you have to press, you can do that with a Stream Deck.
Well, I've got my Ornato Chroma keyboard from what is this? From Razer that I'm using, and I love it. But I do the same thing. I open up a keyboard panel and I say, okay, I want that key to represent date. So when I'm putting a file in the system that it needs to have the date in there, all I do is just tap one key and it's typed. Yep. And it's made life a lot easier. So it seems like you could do the same thing with the Stream Deck. Now, Shawn, you use the ATEM Mini. Is that the same kind of concept, or does the ATEM Mini come with some of these graphics that are ready to go?
So the ATEM Mini has a little bit of built-in. I can do picture-in-picture. I can do some limited DVE effects.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have the base version of the ATEM Mini, because they have the Pro, they've got an ISO version, and then they have the ATEM Extreme. This one doesn't do as much, but I can do a chroma key. I can do that kind of stuff on the panel itself. Now, if I download the ATEM software from Blackmagic Design, then I can get more functionality out of it. I can move things around. I can do more DVE channels, and
kind of like the Stream Deck. Yeah, you have to have the software to do the stuff. Yeah.
Right. So it's the benefit of the ATEM over the Stream Deck is that it's obviously a switcher, right? I can switch inputs, so there's no inputs into the Stream Deck, right?
How much is the ATEM Mini?
I believe the ATEM Mini version is like $395 still, I think. It's not that expensive. Obviously, there are more versions that, depending on what you want, you can get the ATEM Mini, the ATEM Mini Pro, the ATEM Mini ISO, and then the ATEM Mini Extreme, which the ATEM Mini Extreme adds 4 more inputs.
Okay. So one of the big differences there, I mean, obviously not discarding what you just said, but the price point, you said it was like somewhere like around $350 or so.
$395, I think.
$395. Okay, so the Stream Deck, the one that I have, which is the middle one, that's $150.
Yeah. Now, when I was looking and I was at Best Buy and I picked it up, and then I talked to Justin, I said, put it down because I got Wirecast. But I was, when I was talking to you, I went and asked, he said, what's the price on this? The price for the XL, for the Stream Deck XL, was $260, I think, is what they had quoted me. And I thought, maybe I don't need it that much because, you start going over $150, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but another cool thing about the Stream Deck, and I don't know if the ATEM can do this, but the Stream Deck can nest folders within buttons. So let's say I have more than 15 hotkeys that I want to use.
Right.
So like I was talking about that Final Fantasy game, if I want to use emotes, right? Or I want to say, hi, how are you doing? Or, hey, there's an enemy or whatever, and point my character. I have a folder. So I click on the button that's a folder and it opens up a whole new set of 15 new buttons.
Oh, that's
that
cool.
I can choose from. So then I have all my emotes listed on the buttons. And then when I want, I just press one more button and it goes back to the main screen. So you can nest folders inside of folders. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
So now we talked about back when the pandemic started, and Shawn, that's when ATEM was really, they put out their ATEM Mini, and we had the representative on the show talking about it the whole bit. But that was becoming a really popular item for churches, houses of worship that were doing this, that maybe didn't want to invest in the Wirecast. They wanted to have this. Do you find that people are still using the ATEM Mini now that things have kind of gone back to in person?
Absolutely, they're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
The benefit, you've seen it a lot with churches. A lot of people are very happy to have the flexibility to, I can go in person or I can watch from home.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still seeing all of that. None of that is going away. And you just saw more of it, right? There were a lot of churches, especially around here and churches that I volunteered at, that have been doing that for a long time. It's just now it's easier. The hardware prices have come down. So now it's cheaper for a house of worship to get in and do a higher quality production on the cheap.
I got to ask though, and I'm not really trying to disrespect anything. I'm trying to make light of the situation, but like, if you do a virtual church service, like instead of passing around the offering plate, did they pass around like a QR code on the screen?
That's a good idea.
I mean,
so
donate. I mean, I'm curious, like how do they make money? Because you think people don't go to church. This is how churches make money, is people going to church and donating. And, I'm not even going to go into the whole stigmata thing where, the third book, well, I kind of am now, whatever. Anyway, go.
No, you are correct. Churches definitely saw a decrease in giving.
Yeah.
And Caitlin and I do electronic giving anyways.
Right.
So it didn't affect us. Our church has been pushing electronic giving for a long time.
It's a great idea, actually.
Do they do it like a QR code? Or do they do it through?
So you just saw, you fill out your information on the little card, like you can, in the pews, they have little cards, you can fill them out and then you can go online and sign up for them. But our church does 2 separate broadcasts. They record a mass during the week that airs on Sunday at noon on the local My Michiana television channel.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
9.2. At the end of the mass, there is a QR code that sits on the screen for about 45 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, like saying, like, here's the announcements, yada, yada, yada. In the virtual mass, that's also at the end. They also have it put up with, here's where you can rewatch, here's where you can do all this stuff with the same QR code.
That QR code, does it lead you to Venmo, PayPal, Square?
It leads you to their website where you can sign up to do an online. Yeah. So you can go right to their.
It's independent. Okay.
Yeah, but probably a secured transaction.
Yeah. So you go on, you create an account and you sign up for, installment. You can sign up and do monthly installments or yada, 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 whatever. But
okay.
I love that. That's a phenomenal way to support, your house of worship if you're doing that. And they rely on that. And I think if somebody's going to take the time to, go through a church service virtually and, and enjoy that, they're going to go ahead and do that. I think to make it easy. And that's the whole thing, is about making it easier. Now I'm wondering though, can Stream Deck XL or Stream Deck be used for this same type of thing? Video, videotaping and video presenting a church service online. Because I know we got a lot of church IT guys that listen to the station that might be listening to the show. Would this be something that they may want to look into if they're doing just a single camera setup on Facebook.
I mean, if you're looking to do a single camera thing, if you're looking to do different scenes and stuff like that, I don't know if necessarily a Stream Deck is going to be where you're going to want to go. I mean, if you're trying to do different scenes and green screens, or every time, somebody subscribes to you, you can hit the button and it'll flash an emote or whatever. Like, that's more or less what you're looking for. You're looking to automate those types of things with the Stream Deck.
Right. Got it.
So I guess the thing is, there's a use for both. ATEM is more for,
multi-camera production.
Yeah, professional multi-camera production. Whereas a Stream Deck, you can use it for multi-camera production, but it's probably better just for a single camera.
Yeah.
It's more for putting up graphics and throwing up memes and things like that. Yeah.
So to be fair, you could use the Stream Deck to run macros on the ATEM Mini. The ATEM Mini does.
Yeah, so you can use it.
You could have it set up to do picture-in-picture, bottom left, picture-in-picture upper right, DVE, green screen. You could set all that up on the Stream Deck and macro that to the software instead of having the controller in front of you, because the controller is not really laid out to do that easily. Like, I could turn the green screen now by pushing the button, but you could have a macro setup that is specifically tied to your chroma wall and your settings and fine-tuned. You hit the button and it does it, right? Yeah. Or other things that the ATEM can do, lower thirds, still stores, all that stuff.
Yeah, I believe you can integrate the ATEM Mini into Wirecast. I've heard that before. People have been using that. Wirecast is a great solution. If our listeners want to take a look at the software, it's an annual, so there's a subscription. You pay a little bit to start it, and then every year you can get the latest version. You get all the support options for, I want to say, $99 a year, and it's great if you're in a corporate environment. I ran into somebody when I was at Best Buy who was looking at microphones, and she had a salesperson help her, and then he walked away, and she just looked confused. I said, "What are you thinking of doing?" And I pointed to the microphone that Shawn is using on the show right now, and I said, "This is a great microphone." I said, "We've got a guy on a show that I do." I said, "He uses it, and it sounds great." And she goes, "Yeah, I'm thinking about that one, and I'm thinking about this one." So I said, "Well, what is it you're doing? Are you podcasting?" She told me she's a marketing person, and people have been coming to her saying, "I want to do video meetings. I want to do video presentations." But she says, the video we have, the camera looks really good. It's the Brio camera, which is a great 4K camera from Logitech. She goes, "But our sound is awful." And I said, if you have great video, if you have bad sound, you'll lose them. So I said, "Yeah, you got to pump up your sound." I showed her the Samsung, the little microphone that goes on top of the laptop. I said, "This is the low end. But if you really want to do it, you want to look at what Shawn's using. That microphone has worked really well for him. There's some other ones on the market." I said, if you invest in the camera, invest in the audio as well.
There are two microphones that I will recommend for somebody that wants to do make their audio a little bit better, but not spend a whole lot of money. The Yeti Nano and the Rode NT USB microphone.
Oh yeah.
Those are the top two microphones I'm going to recommend to somebody that says, "I don't want to spend a lot of money on a microphone, but it needs to be USB and it needs to sound good." Those are two that are going to sound excellent. They're small. The Rode has mounts you can mount on top of your monitor. The Yeti Nano is a little bit more stylish if you're looking to kind of like a more modern look. But those are the top two, in my opinion, the top two microphones that you can get.
I gotta say,
you're
talking about Rode. Have you seen the Rodecaster?
Yes.
Rodecaster. I want. If you want to do a podcast or a group, chat, Rodecaster is like all in one. Everything is there.
Yep. It's got four inputs, 4 headphone outputs. You can do a mix. You've got macros to play music, intros. You can mix it all right there. The Rode Podcaster is great.
Wow.
Part of our athletic department, Fighting Irish Media, has one. They use it all the time to do podcasting in one of our studios. They love it. We can get a line out of it into our system if they need to record. It works really well. We've integrated it into our studio, so if they come in,
What if you're what if you're on the road? Like, does it come with like an SD card slot or?
I think it does, doesn't it? It doesn't have the
Yeah,
ability to record.
you can record locally as well. I mean, it also is called the Rode.
Yeah, I just want to make sure because you said a line out. I just want to make sure you could actually record.
Oh no, yeah. We use it more in a studio setting for podcasting, but they travel with it. So they travel with the teams and do podcasting all over the country.
An SD card slot then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, and it's RODE. If anybody want to look that up, they sell them at Guitar Center, but I think last time I looked, they were like $500-600. But again,
$599.
yeah,
Ooh, wow.
it's an all-in-one solution though for that. And not long ago, I consulted Eli Crane from Bottle Breacher about setting up and doing a regular podcast. And this is before we knew about the Rodecaster. And I wish we would have gone that way because we really went with a solution that's a mixer and a microphone and this thing to do this and this to do that. If you're looking for this kind of solution, the Rodecaster would really be a great way to go. I mean, I really like that. Now, there was a little confusion, though, when I was talking to Justin, because we were talking about, so I'm talking about Stream Deck, and then he says, do you know about Steam Deck? And I'm like, no, do they make that too? And it turns out there's big announcement that came out this week, and I kind of wonder, is Nintendo getting a little nervous?
Yeah. So you've obviously heard of the Nintendo Switch. That's the handheld video game device. Well, Steam, which is pretty much the eminent place you would go on a PC to buy games. You buy games through Steam, and then you have a Steam library that contains all of your games you've bought and
Purchase.
Purchased.
I like boughten. That's a good word.
That's not even a word, is it? Boughten, purchased,
Botany.
whatever. But yeah, so you can install them like any computer that you own. You can just carry your Steam library with you. Well, Steam, which is made by Valve, the company Valve, they just announced pretty much, what was it? Last Thursday, something like that.
Bad last week.
They announced the Steam Deck. So again, yes, it's very similar to the Stream Deck. It's called the Steam Deck, and it is a handheld system. It looks a lot like the Sega Game Gear.
It does. It's got
from back in the day,
a 7-inch screen that is pretty good. I mean, it looks like a great screen.
Yeah, it's a decent screen. It's handheld. It's got the analog controllers. It's got a directional controller. It's got a touchpad on both sides for more of like a mouse movement kind of thing. It's got a few buttons on the back, a few buttons on the top. So it's got more buttons per se than the Nintendo Switch. But what's interesting about is just like I said, it's not only just the name is very close to Elgato Stream Deck.
Yeah.
And it's still yet to be found if that's going to be the final name. I mean, there is a website, steamdeck.com. Steamdeck.com is where you can find the information on this handheld device. But Nintendo, I think they got to be shaking in their boots.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo has had the Switch since 2017.
And they would keep talking about Switch Pro, but
yeah,
the closest we're getting is this new OLED model.
Yeah, basically that's what Nintendo's doing. It's like everybody's sitting there saying, "Hey, Nintendo, it's time to upgrade your system. Let's get a new Switch, a Switch Pro that's got a better CPU, a better graphics card, a bigger screen." Nintendo's like, "Oh, bigger screen? Sure, why not? We'll give you a bigger screen." Well, wait, hold up. No. We want a better processor and GPU. No. You're just getting a better screen. That's all they're doing. They're re-releasing the exact same Switch with a better screen. And that's what Nintendo does. They keep shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, we saw them do that with the Wii, really. I mean,
yeah, with the Wii U.
Yeah.
The Wii was massively successful, and then the Wii U was horrible. But like, why does Nintendo keep doing this? They don't listen to their fan base. Their fan base is telling them, we want this, this, and this. Now, Valve has listened to them and said, all right, you want to play PC games on the go? Here you go. And so now they're not going to be limited by Nintendo. Again, another thing about Nintendo, their online system is absolutely horrible.
Is it?
I mean, you basically got to give to find a friend on Nintendo Online. You've got to give them basically your social security number. I mean, you can't look up people by their name,
right,
or their nickname or their screen name. You got a 12-digit friend code.
Oh wow!
That you've got to type in just to be able to get them to be on. And then there's no voice chat built in.
No voice chat built in.
No voice chat.
You know what they tell you to do?
Yeah.
Download the Nintendo app on your phone and talk to your friends over your phone.
Yeah, while you're playing Nintendo Switch.
Oh wow.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Now the Switch Lite is not able to connect to a big screen television, right? That's
Correct. The Switch Lite is its
Okay.
own standalone. It does not have a dock.
right.
So the Switch Lite is
Oh.
only a handheld unit.
Now the
Yeah.
Switch, that's the
what I
one
have, yeah.
where you could connect it to a TV, which I understand Valve's Steam Deck is going to be able to do right out of the box, where you will be able to connect to a TV.
You do need to buy. So there's 3 different models that you can buy. There's the Steam Deck. Oh gosh, I should have pulled this up
Now
earlier.
it starts at what, $399 for the intro model.
Yeah,
from
the
what I
intro
understand,
model's $399. Let's see here. Price, specs, and release date. Excuse me real quick here. So yeah, $399 for the 64 gigabyte version, $529 for the 256 gigabyte version,
Wow.
and then the $649 for the Ultimate Edition, which is 512 gigabytes. It also comes with anti-scratch, anti-glare glass. It comes with the dock.
Right.
And you get a couple extra things. I guess I don't know exactly what else you get right now. But so with the 64 gigabyte version and the 256 gigabyte version, you have to buy the dock separately, which is, I think, rumored to be $65.
Right.
Why not just get the pro version or the ultimate version, right?
Yeah.
So
That number's kind of scary though when you're talking.
$649.
Yeah.
For a handheld gaming device. But again, it will play all of the Steam games. So if you can play it on your PC, you can play it on this handheld.
And they have quite a massive library when we're talking about
my
it, right?
gosh. Hundreds of thousands of games.
Yeah.
That you can find.
Will you be, well, actually, you answered the question for me the other day. Will you be getting one?
Well, so that's kind of a funny story. I was actually watching some of my favorite streamers on Friday morning when the pre-releases came out, or the pre-orders came out. These guys were, doing their normal streams where they're playing their games, and then they're like, "Oh, Steam Deck is available for pre-order. Let's go ahead and pre-order it, folks." And they would show them trying to pre-order the Steam Deck, and every single time they would just get hung up or get a rejected order or whatever. So they were like losing their minds, like they were not happy.
Yeah.
And so I said to myself, I'm working, and I'm like, well, let's just go see what happens. So I went on to Steam. I found the Steam Deck pre-order page. I clicked on the most expensive version, the $649 version.
Oof.
And I said pre-order, and you have to put down, it's $5 to pre-order it. So I put down the $5, click next. And then it came to the part where it's like, what's your billing address and your payment, whatever. I clicked complete order. And this is where they kept failing. All the people kept failing, and I clicked pre-order one time.
Right.
20 seconds later, it says, "Congratulations, you now have a pre-order." First attempt, I got it. And I started going into these streamers' chats going, "Hey, I got mine the first time." And I swear to God, one of the streamers saw it and were like, "Hey, Justin, if you're in chat, bleep you."
Now, did you have buyer's remorse right away?
No. Because I started thinking like, okay, what games would I want to play on there? Because I do play a lot of Steam games, but right now, all I'm playing is like Final Fantasy 14 Online, which is through Steam.
Yeah.
I could play that on the Steam Deck, but I feel like with all of the buttons that I have set up and all the macros, like I was just talking about with my Stream Deck, how could I do that on the Steam Deck? Like it would be a challenge, I guess, at the very least. But I don't know. We'll see.
Shawn, you going to get one?
No.
No, why not? Because you have a Switch, right?
I do have a Switch. I'm not a mobile gamer, right? I don't need to take my games everywhere I go. I don't need to have it. I do like the Switch, taking it with me where I can go if I know I'm going to be sitting for a period of time. If I'm going to go on an airplane, it's been great, right? But I just don't.
Wait, are you saying that I need to keep my games with me all the time?
No, that's not what I meant. I know that I know people that take their Switch with them wherever they go.
Oh yeah.
And if they have their downtime, that they're on their Switch. I don't function like that. That's okay.
Yeah, no, neither do I. Yeah.
But I don't have a love for my Steam library enough for me to purchase a Steam Deck.
Very cool. Now,
I like my Steam library, but like you said, most of them are in-depth games where I want to be at a computer immersed with my headphones. And now I could do that with the Steam Deck, I'm sure. I don't think that I've enjoyed the Switch experience as much mobile. to warrant me getting a Steam Deck.
All right, we got to take a break. We come back. A big announcement from Microsoft. Well, we everything has been Windows 11 for the last couple of weeks. There's something new coming your way. I don't get it. Maybe you guys will. We'll talk about it when we come back with more of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. Find us on the web at techtalkradio.com. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Tech Talk Radio. I'm Shawn DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy.
And I'm Andy Taylor. Now, before we went to break, we were talking about the Steam Deck from Valve, and it's going to be able to play a lot of games. However, it's just the way it is now.
It comes out in December, by the way.
In December, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, and it's just the way it is now. Like for anybody who's tried to get themselves an RTX 30 series graphics card, it's been a challenge. Part of it has been because of bots, other because people just are able to get them, and then they're turning around selling them at an immense profit. We're seeing the same thing kind of happen with Steam Deck, even though it's not even available yet. Shawn, you had the info on this.
Oh, yeah. So it's like anything right now that you can get on the internet or pre-order. Scalpers are using bots to buy up as many. So you're seeing listings on eBay for people selling their pre-sales on eBay for double, even triple the price of what what it's actually going to be.
Are they selling them for what the price is? Like what the retail price, like let's say 650, are they going with that and then increasing the price based on that? Or are they selling their pre-orders but for $5 saying, I'll sell you this for $50?
Right now, I just put it into eBay. Valve Steam Deck, 512 gig confirmed pre-sale, $1,400.
Oh my gosh.
I should totally do that.
Wow. So what they're saying is they're going to get it, and then they'll ship it to that person.
Yeah, they'll get it, and then you pay them $1,400, and they send it to you.
And there are people though with enough money
totally
that will do that. I mean, seriously.
Well, yeah. Why they want it because it's going to be the cool new thing, especially because Christmas is only a couple months away.
Yeah. Well,
right? we're getting into that time where companies are going to start dropping their big holiday bombs.
Yeah.
How can the internet fight this whole, I don't want to call it a greed factor because it's an opportunity factor, but how can the internet fight that? I mean, here's somebody like Justin who wanted to get himself an actual 30 series card, but has a hard time getting it because of this going on. For people that really want to buy the product and use it, is there any way that people can get around this?
More brick and mortar sales?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you actually go into a store and you
more in-person pre-orders. You go into Best Buy and they take pre-orders for say Best Buy does it where from Monday the 5th of July to Tuesday the 12th of July, come in and pre-order, walk into the store and pre-order.
Right.
Yeah.
Then you are guaranteed one.
Yeah.
So then Best Buy goes to their supplier and says, we had 160 pre-orders.
Right.
Give us 160. Okay, cool. Here's your 160.
Yeah. But all this online, this it's making it easy for people to buy stuff. It's not easy anymore.
No.
Right. And you got to remember too, it's like worldwide, right? That's the internet is worldwide. So it's not just people in the US or the UK that are trying to get these, right? With the internet, everybody has access to it. So you have China, Russia, the US, the UK, South America, South Africa, all these places are all trying to pre-order this stuff worldwide.
And they're all we're going to see the same thing there.
Billions of people are trying to pre-order this potentially, right?
Yeah.
So of course there's going to be a shortage when everybody has access to it 24/7.
Plus, I kind of wonder too, we may see limited supplies. We're not getting the actual numbers because right now there's a chip shortage, a silicon chip shortage, which is affecting, we know, the auto industry. And now we're being told smartphones are going to be impacted. So you may see the price of a smartphone that you wanted to get going up.
Even planes.
What's the deal with planes?
I just read an article that a guy said, I just flew in a brand new 777, whatever, the new fancy Boeing, no Wi-Fi.
And no Wi-Fi
because no chips for the Wi-Fi modules in the planes.
Yeah. You see a lot of car dealerships which have been doing great deals on trade-ins now because the trade-ins are selling really good because people are buying used cars that don't have the chips that are available because they can't get their hands on the new cars, the pricing, unfortunately, has gotten a little out of that price range.
So I had my dealer. So I bought my truck just about 2 years ago. So
Mhm.
I have a 2017 Chevy Colorado. It's got 81,000 miles on it now.
Oh wow.
I had the dealer call me about 4 months ago saying, "Hey, here's what you paid for it. We're going to give you more than what you paid for it if you sell it back to us."
Why?
Because for one, the mid-sized truck market is huge right now.
Yeah.
And used cars, you can't find. They literally can't keep used cars on the lot. Used
Oh my
cars are
God.
just flying.
Yeah, because they're not getting their inventory, and it's costing them more to get it from from the manufacturers.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's-
Wow. Maybe I should go back and sell my 2017 Ford Explorer. I only got 25,500 miles on it.
Wait, that's all you ended up doing?
Yeah.
Wow.
I work a lot from home, and when I do go to work, it's only a couple miles, and I've taken it on a couple trips across up to South Dakota, but that's about it. And as a matter of fact, we just got back from South Dakota a couple weeks ago, and right in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming, I hit 25,000 miles. Exactly. And I remember I looked at it and I was like, yay, 25,000 miles, but yeah, seriously, 2017 Ford Explorer XLT, 25,000
I
miles.
did that in a year and a half. Yeah, you
Yeah.
should look at that. They'll probably offer you some pretty good money for it.
Yeah, but then what do I buy? That's the problem.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Tesla?
Do you really want a Tesla?
Yeah. I just, honestly, I just want a Tesla for that huge like iPad Pro in the middle of the console. And it's not an iPad.
It
But
looks like it though, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a huge, I love technology in cars.
It is pretty cool. All right. So I don't know if you guys heard about this, and I would love to get your thoughts. Does this make sense? So Microsoft, we know Windows 11 is going to be coming out in the fall. There's a lot to look forward to. Those people that are testing it out, that are able to get it part of the Windows Insider program. I don't know if you heard about this. They get 10 days. So say you install it and why you would install it on an actual working system that you use every day. But if you don't like it, you have 10 days to reverse it and go back to Windows 10. And if you do go back in that 10 days, you can't reinstall the Insider for Windows 11. So you kind of got to roll with it. So you want to make sure you don't put it on a production machine. So Microsoft announces this past week that they have a new service. It's Windows 365 that the company said is going to be a cloud-based PC that will allow you to go to a terminal or a computer, log in, just like you do with Office 365, right? Like Office Online, log in, and there is your Windows. You've got your programs, your whole bit.
Nope.
Especially when you find out the price, Justin. To be able to use a Windows PC in the cloud, it will set you back $31 per user per month. For the $31 monthly subscription fee, you'll have access to 2 CPUs, 4 gigs of RAM, and 128 gigabytes of storage. And they say it's perfect for the work environment, for those that are working remotely or need to be able to access their company's computers.
Yeah. How about no?
Sounds like a great way to have a virtual machine to screw with some people.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, doesn't it make more sense to just go ahead and buy a laptop maybe?
Yeah. At that price point, yeah. And honestly, no, there's just nothing about that I would, no, not at all.
Well, if you feel like taking the bite, and that's just the introductory pricing that I got, there are going to be more pricing options, but I believe that's going to be the main one. August 2nd. That's quick. That's before Windows 11. August 2nd, this will be launching. And, it's one of those things I want to see what it looks like and get a feel for it. And I don't know if our friends at Microsoft will let me do it, but because I'm not set on the idea either. I honestly think, if you're a company, just give your employee a laptop. It's going to be cheaper in the long run.
Yeah, or just set up virtual machines in a data center like I have, and I can access my machine from my company laptop, but I access a virtual machine. Mm-hmm. So I, fire up the laptop, I get on my RDP session to a virtual machine that's in my data center.
And it's almost like being on that computer, right?
It is.
Yeah.
So we're talking about all this cloud-based computers. So do you ever worry about transfer speeds with that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, too. If you get bad transfer, forget it.
Hey, what if you have bad internet? What if you need to? Yeah. What if you're working remotely and you have crappy 3G?
Right.
Mm-hmm. You're not getting any work done.
Yeah.
But you could live in Japan where
Yeah,
they just smashed the internet transfer
Wow,
record.
what a segue, Shawn.
What are they doing in Japan? I mean, this is pretty amazing stuff. Justin,
So-
does this make you want to move back?
Justin, you have gigabit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How would you like to have 319 terabit per second internet?
I don't think I would. I don't even know what I would do with that.
I heard that somebody would be able to, if they could, download 700 high definition movies in like seconds.
7,000 high definition movies. It doesn't give any specs on that in 1 second.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, they were also saying that you could download the entire contents of the internet, which is impossible because there's not enough storage.
Mhm.
But if you had unlimited storage, you could download the entire contents of the entire internet in 2 minutes.
Now, this is not something that everybody is getting over there. This is a test that
Yeah.
they were doing to see just how fast they could get it.
Yeah.
Now, they were able to do it by combining all the data sources together. Is that how they?
So it says it involved addressing every part of the pipeline, upgrading the fiber optic cable line with 4 cores, multi wavelength fiber, and they tested it. So it wasn't a short test either. They used coiled fiber optic cables to simulate an 1,864 mile distance.
Mm.
Wow. Do you think this is something we'll one day see?
No, we won't.
We won't.
I
No.
come from the 300 baud modem days.
Yeah, no, we
so
won't.
I remember.
Yeah, we won't see that. I'm not. I mean, honestly, I don't think anybody will ever see that. I mean, at that point, you can pretty much just call internet just instantaneous.
Yeah.
You just say instantaneous. There's no more having to measure speeds. If that 319 terabits per second became a reality, there would be no more need to measure speed of internet. It would literally just be called instantaneous.
Yeah, but then you have the bottlenecks in your actual system itself. That's where the bottlenecks would be.
At that point, I think we would be having computers in our brains. We would literally be the Matrix.
There you go.
At that point.
That's what Elon Musk wants, right?
Yeah. Don't even get me started on that.
And now, if they were to do this, can you imagine the cost? But who wouldn't bite if you were to have this kind of speed?
Okay, first off, if they offered me 10 gigabit speed in my neighborhood, I don't think I would take that. Because again, you're right. You're limited by your bandwidth. I don't have 10 gigabit modems, switches, network interface cards. All of my stuff is 1 gigabit. So even if they offered 10 gigabit, I would have to upgrade my entire home network just to be able to support 10 gigabit. And even then, the chances of you actually getting 10 gigabit speeds are very nil because most websites, services, other people are going to have gigabit or less.
Now, I'm wondering, you lived in Japan for
I had
a great
gigabit
deal.
speeds back in 2005, 2006.
So I was going to say, is the internet backbone in Japan actually pretty good?
Oh yeah. I mean, but honestly, like, okay, so I got fiber here, right? My service is considered fiber. I only have fiber up to the outside of the house, and then it goes copper Ethernet inside the house into my modem.
And that's where you lose some.
And yeah, you lose a little bit there. In Japan, I had fiber directly to the modem. Like in my house, the modem sat with a fiber cable plugged directly in, and it was single mode fiber, which is long run, long distance.
Yeah.
But my speeds are pretty much on par. Like in Japan, I was getting a solid 990 down, 990 up.
Right.
Here with gigabit, it does vary a little bit, but I usually get around 850 to 900 down, and then about 900 to 925 up.
Man, lucky man.
I know, right? And I only pay $65 a month.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm paying 120 for Xfinity.
Actually, no, I take that back. It's $65 a month for the service, and then I got a $30 modem rental fee, which I still do want to replace the modem with my own eventually. But yeah, so it's like $90 a month.
Yeah, I use my own modem, and I'm getting let's see, I'm going to say 580 maybe down and 20 up, and I'm paying almost $125 a month for that.
Yeah,
120 down, 18 up.
Wow.
Let me
And
do
what
a
are you
speed
paying?
test real quick?
What do you
I
John?
think we pay $60 a month.
Wow.
Okay.
Maybe
While we're doing this show, again, as taking up bandwidth, I'm doing a speed test right now,
right.
and I just hit 780 down and 912 up.
That's amazing. I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow. All right. Well, we're going to take another quick break. We come back. We've got more of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Tech Talkers. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Justin Lemmy.
And I'm Shawn DeWeird. Could it be close to Christmas?
Yes.
I got an email from Wise saying pre-order multicolor LED strips.
From
Wise.
From Wise. So what have we been saying for the last 3 months?
Give me
Wise
Christmas
needs
lights.
to make Christmas lights,
Christmas
right?
lights. Oh, could you? It would be so amazing what you could do with Wise Christmas
But the
lights.
thing is they're not really Christmas lights, though.
Oh, you have to
Well,
be
they're.
Well,
I'm gonna make them Christmas lights.
Yeah. All right. Now, so to explain what these are.
So it's like you go to your local store, Meijer, Costco, Sam's Club, whatever. They're becoming increasingly popular for behind TV sets and things like that. LED strips, long strips of LEDs that can change colors with the remote control or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Wise now has strips of LEDs that you can program and control with scenes and all this stuff and all that stuff. And they come in 16-foot or 30-foot sections, 32-foot sections.
32 feet. Wow.
Yeah. But the benefit of this, right, is the way the LED strips work is they're LEDs in the series. So it's just LED after LED after LED.
Are they individually adjustable?
Yes.
Good.
According to this, yes.
Yeah, which means you can change each light independently.
That's
along that LED strip. Each light can be changed independently.
They call it multicolor 16 customizable segments. What that means, I don't know. That's really that's what it says.
No, that does not mean individually adjustable.
It says 16 multicolor segments.
Yes, segments. Segments would be
one
multiple
segment,
lights.
Yeah.
So they're not completely individually, because that's the thing. You get those companies like I forget the name of the company, but they do like those permanent Christmas light installations on your house.
Oh yeah.
They come with it's like track lighting in a way, but they're weatherproofed and all that. Those are like ridiculously expensive, but because of that, because each light is individually changeable.
Right.
Which means you can, if you have like 1,000 lights on your house, you can change all 1,000 of them at one time to be a different color at one time.
So you get this really great display going on. But you know what, though? We're pushing closer. We need to push Wise to actually come up with like Christmas tree lights with that same concept.
Yeah, I think it's coming. It's got to be. We're getting closer.
They do have those
Christmas tree lights.
Yeah. Christmas trees.
Don't.
Yes, they do. My buddy got one. It's actually not even a Christmas tree lights. It's actually a Christmas tree with the lights built in.
Yeah, but we're talking about from Wise.
We're talking about from Wise.
Yeah.
So you can have it programmed, do different colors and scenes and all that stuff.
I want to get one so I can put my Golden Girls Blanche ornament in there. That would look so good.
But I am just ready for some Wise Christmas lights. But we're getting there. We're getting there.
Crossing our fingers. All right, that's it for this week's show. Hit us up on the web at techtalkradio.com. If you have a comment for the show, you got a question, we'll be happy to answer too. You can reach us online. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. Find us on the web at techtalkradio.com. Have yourselves a great week.